Yeah, but are you happy? Said, are you happy? Yeah.
Hey, are we are we on? Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
It looked like just our headboard for a
on
moment.
our end, it looked like just it went to the headboard and we had no audio whatsoever. Yeah,
Seamless.
That is that ColdTowne TV budget at work, you see. But no, you are watching / listening to the Yeah, But Are You Happy podcast, which comes to you every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock here on the ColdTowne TV Twitch channel. Katie Stone, my co-host, will not be joining us tonight. She is working hard being the amazing advertising copywriter that she is.
She's working on a pitch.
Working on a pitch.
Like a little Peggy Olson.
Working on packets and portfolios.
Other
and
things that start with P.
Polenta.
That could be a big Polenta account.
Pulaski Avenue in Chicago. Do
you want to introduce me?
I'm out. My name is Lane Ingram, and I am a comedy person and a therapist. And you're listening to a podcast all about mental health and comedy. I'm doing everything but introducing my wife. But no, filling in for Katie tonight is my wonderful wife, Chloe Ingram.
Yes. Thank you for that warm introduction.
I said you're wonderful. Oh my God. It never ends over here.
Yeah, hi, I'm Chloe. I am Lane's wife. I am also a comedy performer and writer when there's not pandemics. And what else? I'm here to help out the Yeah, But Are You Happy gang.
But no, I'm told it's always good for us to start with just an upfront trigger warning that we are a show that sometimes talks about hard-hitting subjects such as porn and conspiracy theories and incels and paranoia. But no, but thank you for joining us. Chloe and I tonight will be talking about marriage in quarantine, and we have people in the chat already. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat.
Yes.
But yeah, so we can do we got Jen back. We got
is that Jared?
Yeah, I think so. Essentially Married to Books, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll assume it is until otherwise confirmed.
But no, let's see. We should do a mental health check-in.
I would love that. Lane, let's check in with your mental health.
The mental health minute.
Mental health minute.
Yeah. So
you don't have a jingle.
I have nothing. We have nothing.
Well, it's fine. No, it's fine. You don't need it.
We have Lil Man over here. He'll be joining us in a little bit. But no, so mental health check-in. Everyone I've been talking to, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a therapist. Everyone has been talking about this election. You hear about this? You know about this?
I have Jay Leno.
You seen my garage? You want to go into my garage? I watched Jay Leno's Garage.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I sometimes watch Jay Leno's Garage. I know.
I just think your Jay Leno needs some workshopping.
Okay. Yeah, that's my Jay Leno. Hey, you want to come into my garage?
It's just more of a creepy guy.
Yeah. You hear that Roseanne laugh? That's what I have to hear all day.
Yeah.
No, my mental health check-in is that, well, it's very exciting that we have this new president, but he's not quite our new president because the old president won't shut up about being president. And so that's stressful.
He won't take his ball and go home.
Yeah. And so that's on everyone's mind. So a lot of stress about that. And then on a personal level, Chloe and I are getting ready to move. We are buying a house, which is exciting and scary. And so there are boxes everywhere. So Chloe has been amazing about the packing and whatnot, but it is just a little bit stressful. I'm trying to work a ton of hours so that we have money, to buy said house.
Houses cost money.
Costs a lot of money.
And they are especially uh, uh, requiring money here in Austin.
Oh my goodness, boy!
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Was that I didn't want to cut you off.
No. I was pretty much. I was just gonna say, Jen wishes congratulations.
Oh, thank you, Dan.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. To piggyback off of your mental health.
What's your mental health check-in?
I am also very excited and full of a lot of emotions, especially lack of patience when it comes to being excited about the house. We are staying in Austin. We're not leaving. But we are moving from the little 1930s duplex that we've had here for 6 years. And Lena's doing things with the computer and it is completely throwing me off.
I am so sorry.
He didn't touch it 1 minute and now it's like he's
I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it to where we can actually see what's happening.
I mean, it's fine. I was able to see it earlier. Look, Lane's got to see himself even more. And well, there you go. Yeah. Do you want to just do the podcast this way with just my elbow?
Interessante.
Okay, back to my mental health check-in. So it's worse now.
Your mental health is worse.
It's worse
than when the podcast started.
No, we are staying in Austin. We're just moving to a different part of Austin. And it had been many years since we'd owned a home. And so it felt like it was our first time going through the process again, just because it's so many years later, it's in a different city. And, the world is crashing and burning around us. So it just felt kind of strange. And there were all these moments leading up to it where I was being cautiously optimistic and didn't want to allow myself to get emotionally attached to the house because it seemed like at any moment, until you really have a lot of things in play, the deal can fall through, or you get a bad inspection report, or something happens with the loan. I don't know. Terrorists. There's a terrorist clause in the contract. If the terrorists say, we don't want you to live in this house, the seller is legally obligated to cancel the sale, and you lose your earnest money. It's fucked up, but that's the law.
Hauntings, ghosts, terrorists.
Yep. No, we do. The house does come with a ghost.
Pirates.
We have to have a dedicated altar to it. This is not an improv show.
This is our life.
This is my mental health check-in. Can I just say, this is my mental health check-in.
We like to riff. We like to do bits in our house. That never gets old. So the chat is Chloe is testing very highly in the chat.
Yeah, I am.
Chloe's numbers are through the roof. People are proud of us.
Oh,
thank you, Xander.
Little man is staying at the duplex and actively seeking roommates. His Craigslist ads are nonsensical. And still demanding. It's very weird. No, he doesn't even know that we're moving. He just knows that activity is happening around the house, and it's puzzling him. But he's still managing to get in. Still my mental health check-in.
Okay. I wanted to pan over to Lil Man.
Oh my Lord. Yes, that is our son. Yes, he's a boy. He's a boy.
See, wasn't that worth
Okay,
it?
that was worth it. That was worth it. Uh,
Okay.
my mental health doesn't matter.
The bedcast. It is the bedcast.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But we're here to talk about marriage and
Yeah,
quarantine
yeah,
and all
yeah.
sorts of other dumb shit. I thought, feel free to type in the chat any questions you might have for us, and we'll do our best to answer them. I took a Pepto just before we started,
Oh,
and
that's what that.
it was the most marriage. It was
That's thoughtful.
it was the most Ingram marriage thing that could happen right before doing a podcast about our marriages. I said to Chloe, I'm going to take a Pepto real quick.
Yeah, it was just a courtesy Pepto, and I really appreciate it. How do we not murder each other? Yeah, no, that's hard. I think you have to
You see, we're both equally
put
insufferable.
Out the threat. Like you have to, and it has to be specific. You have to have a specific murder plan that you have told your partner about, but you know that you're not going to commit it. It's not going to happen, but just so that we're on the same page, we know how we would do each other. And adorably enough, our murder plans pretty much sync up.
They sync up. They're nice.
Yeah, that's good.
No, we talk about murder a lot. We're very out in the open with everything. I do feel like that's how part of how we've stayed together all these years.
Yeah,
is that we're always communicating, and it's very rare that we have something that we don't talk about.
Right. Yeah. No, it's gotten better with each year. I think we've just learned over time that having those difficult conversations gets easier, and that there is comfort in that vulnerability. And
Xander just wrote he should stay in his lane.
Yeah.
Now, ever since you started doing Molly, you've been much easier to get along with.
I wish. No. I wish.
No, yeah. No, we joke around. I think one thing that also helps is we're very. I think if someone were to take a glimpse into what happens in the house when no one is around, is I think they would be maybe shocked, and I think they would be heart warmed. They would be warmed, touched, so. And then disgusted, and then it would turn to disgust when they were to see just how often we're always telling each other like cutesy things, like
cutesy things, or just like real dumb
stuff.
There's, for all the communicating that we do on any given day, there is so much gibberish being spoken and inside jokes and just little one-liners that we recycle through over and over and over again, that in and of itself has become a form of communicating. Like if he's in between therapy sessions, like, and he has a quick minute, he'll like shout these dumb things, and
like a dumb inside joke.
It's a dumb inside joke, and like a lot of, the majority of the time I have my headphones in, but I'll hear that tone, and it's almost like a Pavlovian response now.
Well, also we call each other bitch constantly. So
bitch ass.
I'll get off a call and I have maybe 30 seconds before my next call starts, but I'll signal to her that one call is ended and that I'm off the phone for a second, and I'll just say bitch.
But it's bitch done. There's no reason anyone else should know this, but it's Dirk Nowitzki, who used to play for the Mavs.
No one wants to hear
No one wants to hear it, but they're gonna, because they have actively chosen to watch this channel. It's Dirk Nowitzki, who used to play for the Mavs, saying bitch in his low German kind of dead inside voice, and it's just bitch. So I'll end a call, and from across the house I'll just go bitch.
I like it. And then we also have a running joke that has been going on for years, that where we'll try to say the word yes as quietly as possible, but while the other person can still hear it. So
Mhm.
we might just kind of like a joke will trail off and like, ha, 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 ha. Yes.
Yeah, and I enjoy
And
it,
neither one
and
of us can stop it. Like if one
no.
person does it, the game keeps going way longer than it should have.
Yeah,
Yes.
uh, uh,
Yes.
it's good if you
Yes.
don't move your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is for
Yes.
nobody.
Okay. Anyway, but I was gonna say there's also a lot of just very quick I love yous.
Yeah. Yeah, just I mean it's that simple, guys. All you have to
Well,
do is tell someone you love
well,
them.
I ask God, I always ask God, I am not any sort of model husband or perfect husband.
No, you are. You're perfect for me. You're perfect for me.
but I do couples counseling, and one of the things I ask guys, do you say to your, because one of the most common complaints is in a heteronormative relationship is a wife will often say, my husband is not very affectionate or doesn't communicate. And I'll sometimes ask the guy, do you
Mhm.
ever just send your wife like a random text message in the middle of the day that says I love you, or like thinking of you, or and oftentimes they look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, get your head out of your
Like
ass.
you're married. Like I'm not dating her. Like I'm not
Yeah.
courting.
Anyway, we say that sort of stuff all the time.
Yeah, and I will say that I think that's wonderful to do that for friends. I think friends need to be told that we love each other. Yeah, that's really important, and it does reaffirm your value. Uh no, I was going to say you are more emotionally tuned than I am naturally, and you actually helped me become more vulnerable and work on expressing myself and having a voice.
Well, I think it
And
was also it was also partly my fault. It was a twofer.
Mhm.
Chloe, you have said before on this podcast, I'm not putting words in your mouth,
No,
I
go
don't
ahead,
think.
finish what you were saying, but that I do.
is you grew up in a house where you were not allowed to really talk about your feelings,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was just for the sake of not rocking the boat, we kind of kept it even killed, and it wasn't always so explicitly stated. It was just more implied, and that's what I observed, and that's what I took with me into many relationships. And Lane helped me realize, like, it's good to just say those things, to say that you care about someone. um
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I just remember there were times in early on in our relationship where I could tell something was on your mind. But here's the thing, it was rare. I feel like from the beginning, if we had an issue with the other, we would talk about it pretty quickly.
Yes.
Like sometimes in relationships, you feel like you don't have a voice. Like if you were to actually talk it out with the person, there's a fear that they're going to blow up at you or get defensive or
Mhm.
shut down. But I felt like from the very beginning there was like a precedent set where it was very easy for us to talk to each other about if we had a problem with each other.
Yeah, if I mean almost to a fault, where it's like, if I have an issue, I'm a bringing it up. And like it's like, work day be damned. Uh like whatever you're doing, like we kind of just dealt with it,
Yeah.
because neither of us wants to be angry with the other, or disappointed or hurt. Like that's
Speak for yourself. uh no, but I was gonna say, I feel like
but you know,
what,
like we wanted to just, we
true,
wanted
no,
to
it's true.
squash it, we wanted to deal with it.
And I think
I
my problem, I was way too, and perhaps still am, too nitpicky. I get hung up on the small stuff. And then I think if I were to speak, and then if I were to speak, and this, we did talk about this on the couples episode we did a few months ago with Katie and Sanjay, is you would have something on your mind that was unrelated to you and I, and then I could tell you were upset about something,
or that my mind was somewhere else,
and then I would think it was about me. I would think you were mad at me, and why aren't you telling me? And then it would take a long
you had to
time.
coax it out of me.
I would have to coax it out that I could tell there was something you're upset about, and it would be something else.
And I think that's part of that natural tendency that I had of wanting to just squash things. Like it was like, the act of actually having to tell Lane something going on in my life, like, just not that he ever didn't want to hear what I was experiencing, but it was my own personal shortcomings, and being like, oh, I don't even want to go through the exercise of explaining why something irritated me at school, or why a friend hurt me, or an argument I got into with my mom or something. And the chat's great.
The chat is really popping off. We got to recap some of this.
Y'all.
Chris, we love Chris.
Our baby boy.
And yes, he texts us that he loves us, and we text him that we love him. Let's how to even summarize. Chris told me don't pet the sweaty stuff, Lane. And then I don't know what the Carlin thing is. George Carlin was a real Lane Ingram. I don't. Oh, and then Jen mentioned the Scorpio angle. That's something we've been told. So Jen is a Scorpio, Chloe's a Scorpio, and Jen told us that we make no sense as a couple given our zodiac signs. That I'm a Gemini and she's a Scorpio.
We shouldn't work. Apparently, according to the universe, the higher powers that be say this should not operate.
But hey,
we like to buck trends.
I was telling Jen that maybe I think one time we talked about this where I was saying my aunt / godmother is a Scorpio, and her and I have always been really close. So maybe that I don't know.
You were married to your aunt. I was married for a while.
To my aunt. It was a weird family thing.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't work out.
No, Jen, you're good. No, I just like to. I like, how sometimes you want to defy the odds with your life choices, and it emboldens you. I'm taking that to. Hey, this is a funny. My parents, when I was a baby, my parents went to couples counseling, and the couples counselor told them they should get a divorce. And they never went back, and I think that actually somehow strengthened their marriage.
It motivated them to defy.
Because it's that, like, we'll show them.
We'll stay together matter what.
We'll stick it to you, stranger. We'll never talk to again.
They really owned him.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jared. Don't sweat the petty things, and don't pet the sweaty things, George Carlin.
Well, then I should stop petting Lane.
Hey-o.
He's a sweaty boy.
But touch my penis. Tony said, does Zodiac come into couples therapy? It only it does come in if the people bring it up. I won't shoot it down. What?
No. Chris just said, get Gemini and be a Scorpio.
Great. Just wonderful.
I love it. Okay, let's get back to it.
Get back to it. So I was going to say one thing that has been fun lately is sex. No, we never do that. No, what? Is we started watching scary movies.
Yes.
That, one of the things with being in a long term,
he can't even handle me looking at him.
It's because I can tell the disapproving.
There's no disapproving.
It's just the look of like, this better be good.
No, I just want you to get on track.
Oh, sorry. Okay. But there's a thing that a key to making a relationship work and being happy in that relationship is to try new things. And if you can try new things as a couple, but in quarantine, there's not a lot you can do, period, let alone new things. And I honestly think, because we watch a lot of movies in our house, I think getting into scary movies the last couple months has been a fun new thing for us.
Absolutely. It's, and it's helped me find a new appreciation for a kind of film genre that I had never really valued, and taken that step to understand why it's so important, why it has so many fans, because we have so many friends that would talk about their favorite horror movies, and I was like, I don't even get to really participate in the conversation because I say it's like, it just doesn't appeal to me. But I love getting to see the different ways that people have approached it, and to tie that back into doing something new. I feel like getting into it allowed us to have this new shared experience, that we got to get excited about, comparing different films. And I think that has been a really awesome activity.
No, disagreed with everything she just said. Way off base. No, all of that was true. And Timmy Six Eyes is here. Hey, Timmy Six Eyes. Timmy. Tim, I hope. Oh, I saw Tim is back at work. Hope it was
nice.
Good for it. Tim has had some health issues, and he's an old friend of mine from way back. And hope you're doing all right, Tim. But no, I think the last time we really talked about marriage stuff in quarantine was way back in like June, and now here we are in November.
Boy, what a
what a difference.
What a ride. And I just feel really, I feel lucky. I feel really, really lucky that we've had relatively few speed bumps in this quarantine.
It really, yeah, it's
kind of surprising, because if you don't know, Lane and I have been together for 16 years. Yeah. And we've had some fights.
Oh,
it's gotten real dark and not cute, and not comedy fights.
No, not
like
at all.
Nasty
the worst
stuff,
fights.
The worst. And
I would honestly put our fights up against any
Sid and Nancy,
any of these cutesy couples, like these couples that that look all perfect. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Talk to us in 16 years.
Yeah. We used to be cute.
We're way more dysfunctional. No, we have really been through it, and we've been saying this year it's a good thing the quarantine hit in year 16 and not in like year 2.
Yeah, I've seen multiple relationships end of friends of ours, and I'm sure it's got to be an awful experience to go through, just with the uncertainty of right now.
I'm sorry, I'm loving the Chris question of which Ingram would you trust most in a high pressure situation.
Oh man, well, it depends.
It depends.
If it has to do with kids, trust this one.
Yeah, Chloe is her kryptonite.
I don't know how to talk to children.
Our roles reverse. 9 times out of 10, Chloe is the better one in a high pressure situation. There is the 1 time out of 10 that I'm where she is absolutely like
total deer in the headlights.
Yeah,
I just freeze up.
And angry, very irritable. And that weirdly calms me, and then I kick into action. And then I find it really funny how shut down she is. And so that's our one, and it happens like once a year. And I'm like, I should enjoy this moment. This is my once a year.
But I'm really grateful that you do step in that moment, and you don't just like leave me to flounder in the wind, being upset and having to like deal with a crisis.
I'm more like Chris's mom, and Chloe is more like Jared's mom, according to the chat. Um,
I'm also not squeamish, so if there's
but no,
blood,
yeah,
I can handle it.
it is funny there. Anytime we're around children, there's a weird thing where Chloe can be good with kids in very small doses.
Yeah, and there are a couple kids that I just really click with, and they make it my job easy. But yeah, I am often the just like tiny human. Like I just don't know what to say to them, because I overshoot or undershoot how old they are. So I I'll ask like a 9-year-old, like, you like that Paw Patrol?
Oh,
like
yes.
just
Oh,
dumb
I remember.
shit like
This
that.
is a great example. I remember we were taking a test drive a couple years ago. we were looking at buying a new car. I was trying to remember a good specific example. And the guy who was taking us on a test drive, we took multiple test drives that day from multiple car dealerships. And there was one guy who was just misogynistic.
Mhm.
He was clearly sexist.
He was a little more old school.
And he kept, every time Chloe would ask a question, he would direct his answer towards me. And he kept just Chloe would ask him a question and he would ignore her and he would direct everything to me. And Chloe I could just see her getting angry. And it became
He could feel it.
It became so great. And then Chloe completely just like shut down, and the guy started noticing Chloe was shut down, and then I started fucking with the guy. I was like, oh yeah, what more features does this car have? Yeah, because we're definitely not buying this thing. So tell us about this feature. And again, can't stress this enough.
Because he told
we're not buying this. And
at one point he told me like the middle console is good for your purse. And just something about that, like it's big enough to hold your giant ass lady purse. And I was the one driving. Like I went on the test drive. Lane is in the back seat. And like meanwhile the guy's just like leaning around like, so there's a lot of horsepower under this, and I'm just like, direct it to me.
And also Chloe has such a high tolerance for that kind. I mean, it takes a lot for you to get to the place of just shutting down.
I don't get easily set off, but it was like, as soon as I got in the car, I knew it was not the car for me.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm going to still try to keep an open mind. We'll take it for a drive. But it was just like, he was not selling it to me. And at the end of the drive, I remember he was like, they want you to come into the showroom so that they can try to close the deal. And I was just like, no, I don't want this car. I don't like this. This is a terrible experience.
I just kept making jokes that were clearly going over his head, and I was having fun with it. Speaking of misogyny, here's something that I
do have a purse. It doesn't need a whole console.
is I have my respect and admiration for Chloe has grown in quarantine because we share. What's our square footage on this?
I mean, it's maybe 750.
So we rent here in Austin 750 square feet, and we both work here home all day.
I mean, there are doors between the bedroom and the living room, but if you've ever been to our house, it's essentially one big room with a few little walls here and there and doors that if you shut them just so you can dampen about 70% of the sound. So with us having worked from home, Lane's working from home 100% of the time. I'm working from home about 95% of the time.
Yes. They get all that, Chloe. I was trying to get to something.
I'm sorry. Did you tell it already? Because I tuned you out. I straight up.
Shut up. Now let me talk about misogyny. Okay, the thing about misogyny is, shut up.
Tell about how I made you proud or
Okay.
something.
Well, I get to hear all of her sides of the phone calls.
Oh yeah.
And she's on the phone a lot, and she's an architect, which already, I have so much, respect and admiration for her and what she does. It is so completely the opposite of anything I can do or remotely understand. So I am in awe of what she does already, but then hearing this sort of the human side of it, that she works in in very male dominated spaces all day every day, and hearing that, knowing that she's talking to like someone who owns like a construction company, kind
builders.
of, what I can only imagine would be alpha males that honestly I would be intimidated to talk to, because I don't know I can't do anything like with my hands. I have nothing in common that I could anyway. Hearing her talk with these people has been really incredible. Hearing the way she's able to kind of in a very professional, low-key way, the
I'm
way
not
she's able to kind of maneuver, and like I just hear a lot of and if you let me finish, what I was saying is
I do have to do that, because I mean, part of it is a lot of times we're having Zoom meetings and there's multiple people on there. I know this is great. There's multiple people on the call, and so there's just that weird stop start of who's speaking, this and that. And for better or worse, men just, their voices carry, and they think that they should be hogging the microphone. So a lot of times,
was that a personal attack?
yes. A lot of times I literally have to be like, and if you'll just let me finish that thought, here is what we plan to do with this part of the house. I design houses, and you've got a lot of opinions, and I've just found that, well, one, it helps if I've worked with them in the past, whether it's someone like at my firm or a builder that I've worked with, because we've known each other IRL, and so we already have that shared connection. But it's been kind of challenging at times where you've got these people that, like, newer projects that have started or really gotten underway in quarantine, and having to come across on Zoom when there's just like, in a regular office meeting, there would usually be a few minutes of like bullshitting, just some bantering where you're getting to know the people. And Zoom meetings just don't have that. It's just like, is everyone on? Are they on? Okay, let's go. And so it just, that has been a little challenging, but I have tried to always be professional, but get my shit across, because I just I don't know.
You're just she's like a ninja with it. It's very cool to hear, and I just hear tones that she does it. I'm very grateful that I don't hear that tone very often.
It's work, Chloe.
It's work, Chloe. It's very, and I'm like, I'm
She's
glad.
kind of terse.
And I would think, I think to myself, I'm glad I don't have to hear that Chloe very often. Or if I do, I know I've done something really bad.
You probably earned it. Deserved it. But yes, there was some good questions here. Jen asked if Lane gets to have input into our home. Yes, he does. With my coaching, he has really embraced home design and color and furniture design and art, and I enjoy that process with you, and I feel like our design aesthetics mesh pretty well. Especially in that it's very eclectic and quirky and colorful.
Well, that's one of the things I always say about marriage is if you're if you're in a good long-term relationship, you should allow yourself to be influenced by the other person, and to just and it of course means you don't you can still be independent and have things that are just for you, but try to open yourself up to what the other person is bringing to the table. And the thing that Chloe opened my eyes up to was things like design and aesthetics and like a color palette, and just kind of learning what style is from like a design point of view, whether it's graphic design or whether it's sort of like the interior decor of a home and the way like furniture is placed and things like that. Um, but but she has been very, I always give her credit, she is very accommodating with the fact that I have Ghostbusters toys
Yes.
and Simpsons toys.
There's a fair amount of that bullshit grown man child pop art. It's fine. All you have to do is buy a late 70s imported walnut curio cabinet and store those things in there. And then that's where things come together. It's like, we're not just going to have shelves of your dumb stuff.
Welcome this guy.
Oh, I know.
Person.
This person. RinLive99, new to Twitch. Hey, welcome.
Thanks.
I'm not the normal co-host, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. If you aren't, it's because it's Lane, who is one half of the normal co-host. You're gonna really love Katie. She's a dynamo. No, yeah, I think being open to new experiences and appreciating what the other person brings to the table, I think is something that we've always tried to celebrate.
Yeah, and I will admit, I think I, like a lot of people, and maybe this is maybe guys will relate to this perhaps, but like I feel like I was in the early days, I felt threatened, or I was like afraid of, so like you would talk about things that were so over my head that I would think, oh no, what if she finds out that I don't know what she's talking about? I would feel like insecure, I guess is the better word. When you would talk about
also like just like being in your 20s.
Yeah, being young maybe. But yeah, you would talk about things like travel. You were kind of more traveled than I was. And I think it took me a while, but to put that aside and really just embrace what you were bringing to the table, and realizing like, oh, like my life is better for you bringing those things into the mix.
Yeah, I've always looked at it from the standpoint of I like hearing the things that excite you, because if you've ever been around Lane, when he's excited about something, he gets really passionate. And
where my dudes at? Sounding off. Roll call.
Lane gets excited about dudes all day long.
I love dudes.
I can't keep him away from the dudes. dudes.
Bros.
No, I've just always loved that you have a passion for different things, and you speak about things so eloquently and yeah, with such fervor that it becomes incredibly charming. And so that was something that early on I was just kind of like mystified by your ability to rattle off something about an album by The Who, or an obscure film director, or a book that you read,
or this new porn person that I was super into. Porn. Someone answer the fart question. So Xander,
oh, when did we get over each other's farts? A long time ago.
I was gonna say still haven't.
Well,
we got into an argument right before the show started.
Okay, I will say his farts are off the charts in quarantine. I don't know what that means. I don't know if farts are a symptom of COVID. No, I, we we don't have really any barriers when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Farting.
It just doesn't. We just don't. I mean, they're gross, and he doesn't stop himself. I only don't like it when we're laying in bed,
Mhm.
falling asleep.
Sing it, sister.
We're
Preach.
winding down. You hush, and we have a fan on, and instead of farting into the mattress like a human, he somehow has twisted his buttocks to where when he farts, the fan just like a tsunami just like hits me, and it's just I immediately pull up the covers and like feel like my nose is burning. Now he does give me a warning, watch out.
I try and give
He
a
does
watch out.
he does give me a watch out.
Watch out.
It's like the tornado siren that they test monthly. And so I do have enough time to prep, like, where's my wallet? Where are my important documents? Let's get the blanket over my nose. I get into the storm cellar. So, we make it work.
So to answer your question,
we haven't gotten over farts.
It's still a point of contention. It's still a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
We have an ongoing dialogue.
It's evolving.
Uh-huh.
Just like a lot of aspects of our relationship.
We like to have a daily stand-up meeting about it around 10:30 a.m. Then we take a BM. Oh, scabada, 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 scabada. Hoinch.
Goodness gracious.
So we're getting a divorce. No, we have a fart wheel I'm sorry, Jared has a fart wheel. What? Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Nice.
That's it. So yeah, you collect your farts for Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Rest on Sunday.
Oh yeah, we're hearing the fire. Does anyone else in Austin hear random fireworks like every night? Hopefully they're fireworks.
It's isn't it Diwali right now?
I think that's Saturday.
Pre-Diwali?
Well, but it's been going on for weeks though.
Lane, there's no fireworks. There's never been fireworks.
Oh no.
Is hearing fireworks a symptom of COVID?
This election has been stressful.
I will say this last week has been exceptionally, notably
shitty.
No, better.
Oh,
it's better.
Yeah, better. Yeah.
No, it's been, I guess, ever since Saturday when we got the news that we have a president-elect and it's not him, there has just been even more kind of levity and a sense of renewed hope, but also like us trying to feel cautiously optimistic. Yeah, it's better-ish.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and well, I will say, like, I think we both teared up on Saturday at different points. We both cried. Which, I guess, we haven't really talked about that on the show. I don't know. It's like I want to, but at the same time, I guess just the fact that Trump is being such a shithead, maybe it felt like it's weird celebrating
it. Yeah, it almost felt premature. Like when they said La La Land won, and it was they were prematurely celebrating. Well, it's not a real. Moonlight was the win. It doesn't really work.
Joe Biden is Moonlight.
Look, aren't you just proud of me for remembering that it was La La Land and Moonlight? God, y'all, if you haven't rewatched Moonlight, because I assume you've already seen Moonlight once, you should rewatch it and openly weep about 8 to 9 times over the course of it, like I did a few months ago. It's a brilliant film. Anyway, yeah, La La Land is the Donald Trump of films.
Yeah.
All flash, no substance.
Donald Trump pulled a La La Land when he announced
Okay,
himself as the
okay.
winner on
We're
what was
working
it,
this-
Wednesday?
Yeah, 2:30 in the morning on Wednesday. COVID.
I have COVID. Hang on. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
take a sip.
lord.
Bam.
I am great at vamping. Let me tell you about.
I thought about farting just while I.
No.
Wouldn't that have been great? Chat, back me up. Wouldn't that have been great if I'd have done that? Anyway.
They ain't backing up shit.
But where were we? We've talked about moving. Talked about
the idea of like celebration and prematurely celebrate. It was like the combination of us moving and being like, okay, all these steps are happening with the house. These are good steps, but always feeling like we have to be trepidatious, like at any point the deal could fall through. And then like Saturday, it was just like the election, and is he going to become our new president? And just feeling like a delayed sense of calm.
I think the chat has spoken, and the next time Katie's out, it's gonna be the show will be called Fart Dudes that night, and it will consist of myself and the chat dudes.
I think that technically violates Twitch's terms of service.
Yeah,
I think it counts as a threat of violence.
Yeah. But no, yeah, moving, we're boxing stuff.
Yeah, so
it's very exciting. I think things are about to get, our quality of life is about to go up.
Oh
and
my
we're gonna
God.
have more space.
We're gonna have so many rooms for activities, guys.
But it's also terrifying to buy a house that feels like, can we afford this? And
yeah.
But you know, it's the thing to do because it's Austin. You know, you just hold on for dear life.
Yeah. You know, we've had a really good realtor. She's amazing and has walked us through this and has assured us like that everything we've done to this point has been what you do. And you know, we haven't bought more house than we need. It's just that next big leap of like, okay, now this is ours, and if something breaks, we got to take care of it. And I think that's the biggest thing.
I can't remember if I said on the chat last week what happened when I called my parents to try and tell them that we were buying a house, and I was trying to share the good news.
You might have mentioned it.
But anyway, I'll give a brief summary. Hadn't talked to my parents in a while because, well, if you follow the podcast, you know that they think Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. And so they have been upset with me. But it seemed like things were getting smoothed over. And so I called them a week, maybe coming up on 2 weeks ago. Yeah, about to. And I called them up to just try and tell them the good news, because it felt like I should.
I mean, yes, you should. And it also felt like this is a good excuse to call them because we've got some great news to share.
I thought,
and they've always been very much like, you need to buy a house. You need to buy a house. That's a good investment.
Yes. So I called them, and they used it as an excuse to yell at me about politics, and it was wonderful. And then they haven't spoken to me since.
They've reached out.
And so I thought I would share that just in case you've been following the ongoing saga that is my nightmare.
I am just so proud of you that despite the setbacks that have happened with them, that you don't let it dominate your daily life. You don't let it dominate our conversations. And if you wanted to talk about it at any time, you know that you can with me or with anyone. But I think
What about when you're on the toilet?
Especially when I'm on the toilet, Lane. That's when I'm my most vulnerable, and that's when you need to talk to me about these things, because otherwise I don't want to talk about anything serious.
She sits on the toilet.
Once every 6 months. uh yeah, that was not great, Chris.
Yeah.
That was not great that he did that. um Toilet Gals, that's the companion
That's
show to
the
Fart Dudes.
Toilet Gals and
But
Fart
yeah,
Dudes.
I'm proud of you that, like, the Lane of 10-12 years ago, if you had those conversations with them, then you would not be doing as well. It would
Yeah.
have weighed so much more on you. And it's not that you don't care, and you're not saying like I'm cutting them out of my life. It's just you've realized that they've got issues that are beyond your control, and there is a reason why we live here.
Chris is cracking me up in the chat. I was just gonna say there's a thing. This is a weird thing but for some reason I have never liked it when we're like this and Chloe puts her arm around me. It feels like a power move or something. And I know that's weird and makes no sense. I admit that, but this feels comfortable.
Power move.
Yeah,
Weird
she
power
hits it.
move. Well, it's also because like you'll start like pulling, like accidentally pulling my hair, or you'll just like absent-mindedly be like clicking.
That's the thing no one talks about is when you put your arm around and then it pulls your arm, it pulls her hair.
Oh, that's awful. In this national nightmare.
Put your.
But see, I'm not even like, hey, buddy.
Hey,
I'm not even like, hey, come here, slugger. Like, I'm just kind of like, you know,
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Yeah, do your impression of me. And then do the other one when I'm all fired up talking about something.
I don't know. Breathing heavily just made me like.
Take a breather. It's all right. We're gonna start exercising again.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, our diets have been terrible in quarantine. I went to the doctor yesterday for my physical, and then today got the blood work back, and I have elevated triglycerides. Not good. I've never had a reading from a physical that wasn't at a normal level, and I was like, okay, all right, shit's got to change. This is not good. And I think it's like, yes, I am getting older. I am about to be 38, and so I've got to, you know, exercise more and eat better. I feel like, honestly, if I could just exercise a little bit more, I would be doing so much better for a number of reasons, especially sleep. My sleep has been awful.
You sleep like a weirdo.
I do.
She does all the things that you're not supposed to do. She looks at screens way into the night. Like,
I turn down the brightness.
Yeah, like I've already gone lights out. We're way past lights out, and she'll just keep looking at a screen, and then she'll fall asleep with the phone.
Okay, it's not on me. I set it down.
You're entangled in the cord.
I admit it's not great, and I try to be better about it. It's just hard, and there's just certain things that I have allowed myself to have, and that is crappy screen time at bedtime. Like, if that's my worst vice, I'd say that's pretty good. It's
that
not great.
And Molly.
Yeah,
I love
I wish.
Jared saying in the chat, I secretly ate 10 fun-sized Twix and half a bag of chips at 6 p.m. Then my girlfriend made dinner and I pretended I was hungry and ate all of it.
That's really sweet. Well, that's good. No, it's yeah. Oh, I love it. Get healthy by defining healthy. That's really smart. I think for me it's going to take it, not a monumental shift, but I think actively making time for exercise. I've found so many excuses not to, and I've gotten into that cycle of like, I'm too tired to exercise. I'm so worn out by the end of the day. How could I possibly exercise? And then I go to sleep and I have terrible sleep. But it's like, if I was to just start incrementally exercising more, I would sleep better and I wouldn't feel so tired at the end of the day. So I think that's what I've got to do.
I'm looking at myself on the screen and I feel
Yeah.
like my face looks crooked. I've got crooked face. I feel like my eyes look all crooked.
I mean, I
Maybe I'm just not used to seeing. This is like I hardly ever wear contacts, and I'm wearing contacts today. I'm vain.
you wouldn't know Lane to look at him that he's vain, but he's incredibly vain. No, you care how you look. That's fine. That's fine.
Lane sucks.
No.
Let's see. Vain Ingram.
Vain Ingram.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh shit.
Noise.
Yeah, that is something that, okay, so we're in a pandemic. We don't have stages to really perform on.
Setting the stage for you.
Getting this house is this kind of renewed opportunity to have something to focus toward. It's a goal, and knowing that it will be our responsibility to maintain it, to take care of it, to make it ours,
to get more chihuahuas,
and to get more chihuahuas.
We want more chihuahuas.
I think we're gonna get another chihuahua.
I think we're gonna get another chihuahua.
But yeah, like, so getting this
we're
house
obsessed with chihuahuas.
Is okay. Enough with the chihuahuas.
We like chihuahuas.
It has given me something to really look forward to when there's not a show to prep, there's not a show to go see, there's not all
we don't
of that.
have anything to do.
We don't have an identity anymore. So so this house is going to be great for us. I really look forward to kind of throwing myself into that.
It sounds like you're in a job interview for a second.
My 5-year plan.
I feel confident.
Is,
I feel
my strengths are that I love too much and I laugh too often and I fart too little.
I'm God damn it. I'm a bitch in the boardroom, a bore in the bedroom, and I'm a bear on the toilet.
That's me. That's me. That is me. God, I love that.
And penis. I feel like we're running out of steam. Look, we're not doing great, but we're hanging in there. And
all things considered, I feel very lucky. I feel very grateful that we're at an opportunity in our lives where we can get a house that we love.
Okay, they're tired of hearing about the house. We have a fridge full of microwavable meals from Whole Foods, Central Market. That's what I said.
Same thing. Foxbot.
We're living on boxes. Lil Man has no idea what the hell is going on.
He has no idea. His mind is about to be blown in just a few short weeks.
I don't know what rope sex is.
No, we don't. We don't want that.
We don't want to get tied up.
Don't offer it to us. We don't want it. Enjoy it. Not for us.
I don't even know what it is.
You don't need to. It's not our thing. Do we have a sweet secret marriage handshake? In a way, yes.
Skull fucking? Does that count?
No, that you should give context to that.
Yeah, when Chloe and I we had only been dating like 3 months, and we jinxed on a word where we were talking with someone, and that person was like, what's that thing where like a serial killer will take like a human head, and then they'll and Chloe and I we both said
Time slowed
yeah,
down.
we both said skull fucking
fucking.
at the same time, and then laughed and laughed and laughed.
We've been together ever since.
And ever since 16 years later, now anytime we jinx or have a simultaneous same idea, we will say skull fucking instead of jinx.
You know, I thought it was ridiculous that the minister said they shouldn't be a part of our vows.
What were you saying? You were saying something about a handshake.
Oh, no, the thing that you used to do with your arm.
Drews.
The thing that you would do with your arm, like if I
Oh,
was standing
yeah.
by you.
Yeah.
Surely this isn't a violation of terms of service.
I would do a thing where I would honk Chloe.
Great.
I would
You're gonna
honk,
love this.
I would honk Chloe's boob with my Krell bow. Like
if we were standing next to each other,
I would
at
try
like
and
a,
I would try
like
and
a day
prank,
party.
I would try and prank her by like, hey, look at that over there.
But you'd like really get it.
Yeah. Or like, oh, it's right this way. Let me put your arm in my arm. And I'd try and like honk.
So stuff like that.
So just stuff like that.
Stuff
Just
like
your
that.
standard.
The other thing we'll do is like you stand perpendicular to one another, and like one hand cups in the front and then one hand cups in the back, and you pretend like you're lacing the fingers and like lifting them up through the roof and into the stratosphere, and you go, hooey! That's been around a long time. I just,
this is for no one. Way hornier than the rope stuff. Okay. I think, we've officially run out of steam. But thank you so much for joining us in the chat, everyone who's in here. And thank you so much to Preston for always making this work. Chloe, you've been a wonderful co-host.
Dude,
thank you. Any final
It's really
thoughts?
nice to get to hang out with y'all. Y'all are so awesome. I miss you guys. I miss getting to see y'all around. Yeah.
Yeah, we do miss ColdTowne a lot. Yeah,
damn it.
It's very sad. But we love all of you, and wish we could see each other in person someday. So I hear there's a vaccine. You hear about this?
You hear about this? You hear about this, Kev?
You hear about this, Kevin Eubanks? Yes. Does anyone get that? Did anyone ever actually watch Jay Leno? You know what we're talking about? Boom. Yeah. Yeah, and Kevin would always just say, "That's cold, Jay." That's
everything. That's cold.
That's the only thing he would ever say. That's cold, Jay. But thank you so much for watching. So again, this is Yeah, But Are You Happy? The podcast that talks about mental health and comedy and any other fucking thing that happens to come up. And
thank you, Katie, for letting me take your spot for tonight.
Katie, hope you're doing well. That's Katie Stone. I've been Lane Ingram, and Yeah, But Are You Happy is Wednesday nights on the ColdTowne TV Twitch channel. Keep listening to and watching shows on this Twitch channel, such as Dr. Julian Gooch and Victrola and other ones. Protectors movie hour, movie VHS fun house penis.
I don't know that may be the name.
Protector's penis.
Just watch everything with Protector.
Watch everything with his penis.
No, don't say those things.
Sorry. I mean, not his penis. Don't watch his penis. I mean, if you want to watch,
just gets excited about dudes.
Dudes.
And subscribe. Subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And then also, Yeah, But Are You Happy is on all the podcast things, wherever you get your podcast, you can hear the audio of this. So thank you so much to everyone's penis. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Preston. Bye.